Alexisonfire's Dallas Green.
It's me.
The one and only. If you could, and if it isn't too long of a story, could you just tell me about the name Alexisonfire? How did that come about?
Yeah, before we started the band, about 9 years ago, I was watching television. I was watching the Discovery Channel, and there was a show on contortionism. And in that show, there was a segment on a stripper who added contortionism into her stage show, as well as lactating and breathing fire. And her name was Alexisfire, and the segment was called Alexisonfire. And I thought, that'd be a neat band name, you know? And then we started the band, we needed a name, and George said, why don't we use that name? And I said, sure. And then, you know, when you name your band, you never really think you're going to do anything or whatever, right? You just name your band because you need a name. And here we are.
So, a contortionist, fire-breathing stripper.
She's an actual, she's a prostitute now too, a professional prostitute.
Interesting.
Yeah.
As I understand it, you guys have a new record coming out soon,
It just came out in
Just
June,
came out.
actually.
Yeah. Would you like talking about that? Maybe say how it was maybe different than some of your other projects that you've worked on?
It's our 4th record, and I think with every record we make, it sounds different, but at the same time, it still sounds like Alexisonfire, you know? We're just older, we get into different kinds of music, and we get better at what we do, so I think just, you know, not really consciously, we just try and, our main goal is just to outdo what we did before, and that's really it. It's not about trying to change or trying to do something different because we're tired of this or whatever, it's just try and evolve and do better than we did before, and that's what we, I think what we accomplished with this record.
Yeah. So, now you guys are a Canadian group, is that correct?
Yeah.
What is it like being from Canada and then having a large fan base in the U.S.? What is that like?
Well, I wouldn't say we have a large fan base in the U.S. I would say it's a medium size.
Reasonable. We'll say reasonable.
Yeah.
Fan base.
I don't know. It's great. I mean, the U.S. is definitely the smallest market for us. Like, we're a lot more well known everywhere else in the world that we go. So it's cool though. It's like nice to still kind of be able to come here and play small clubs, and it's kind of like starting over, you know. So it's cool.
One of the things that I always like to ask groups is what has been your inspiration, but specifically not musical inspiration. You can't say, I listen to whoever, so that's why we sound like this, but what have been the things in your life that really lead into what you do?
I started playing guitar when I was 8 years old, and a few years after that, something clicked in me that kind of just made me realize that guitar, like playing music, was the only thing I really, really wanted to do, you know? So I don't really know what it was that did it. It's just happened somewhere along the way. I fell in love with it, and I've had a lot of, you know, a lot of tumultuous moments in my relationship with music and my guitar, but I'm still in love with it, and yeah, I don't know what inspires me. I think mostly just music in general, you know, just the idea of being able to make a sound and make people feel the way they do when they hear a song, you know, just like the way I feel when I hear a song. I can't really explain it, it just happens. And yeah, that's it.
So now, in addition to Alexisonfire, you also have sort of a solo project.
Yeah.
How do you find sort of a balance between playing with the band and going and doing your own thing?
With the City and Color thing, it's just like there's not really a plan. I just kind of do it whenever I want to do it. So it's pretty easy to balance.
Yeah.
Yeah, like, I mean, it's hard when kids say to me, like, right after I get off stage with Alexisonfire, they're like, when are you coming back to City and Color? And I kind of just like look at them like, do you think that I'm 2 people? Like, you know, like, you have to have some patience. I'm only one guy. It's hard to do 2 things at the exact same time, you know? So, but I think that I've kind of created this special thing without trying, really, that you never know when I'm going to play a show or when I'm going to put a record out, and I kind of like that, you know?
It's very relaxed.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's great. Is there any last word, anything that people should know?
Nope.
All right.
Yeah.
Enough said.
Yeah.
Thanks for your time.
Thank you. I appreciate it.